Mahabharata, a tale of valor and bravery. Once, a number of sages assembled in a Naimisharanya forest for a sacrifice known as Brahmashatra. This Brahmashatra sacrifice lasted for almost 1000 years. The sages spent their free time hearing the glories of the lords from a sage Sudha, who was a storyteller. Sudha was also a disciple of great sage Vyasa. He had a son named Ugrashravas, who also used to narrate stories of the lords. He told them that the epic Mahabharata contains all the knowledge and the teachings that an individual needs in order to live a complete life. By seeing the eagerness of the sages to hear the epic, Ugrashravas began to narrate the story. The story is as follows. Long ago, there was a country called Kuru, with a capital at Hastinapura. It was ruled by a king named Janamejaya. Janamejaya was in great sorrow as he lost his father, King Parikshit, due to his curse. That is, he will die through a snake bite. Parikshit was a great and glorious king who ruled Hastinapura for almost 60 years, succeeding the great Dharmaraj Yudhishthira. He spread a lot of his dominance and developed Hastinapura during his reign. On knowing the horrified death of his father, the furious Janamejaya grew a grudge on all snakes and strived to avenge those snakes. He ordered his people to organize a sarpa satra, which is a snake sacrifice yagna, for killing the whole race of snakes. Many holy snake saints and sages were also invited to perform the yagna. Hearing this horrified news, the chief of Serpent, Dakshak, approached Lord Indra. The Lord Indra also nodded his head in accepting to come for the aid of serpents. The sage Vyasa also done his part. He came with his disciples to make a check for this horrible scene. But Vyasa also failed. Vyasa told Janamejaya that it is totally unfair to kill the whole race to avenge a single serpent, which also performed as per the curse to kill Parikshit. But Janamejaya was not convinced and he also continued with the yagna. This mass sacrifice was started on the banks of the river Arind at Bardhan, now known as Parham, a corrupt form of Parikshitgarh. A machinery tank, which is the reservoir said to be built by Emperor Janamejaya to mark the site of sacrificial pit known as Parikshit Kund, and it still exists in Manipuri district. In this sacrifice, thousands of snakes were drawn out by the spells chanted during the yagna. The snakes immolated themselves in the yagna fire. But the main Dakshaka, who really killed the Parikshit, did not come to the yagna, as he was protected by Lord Indra. Janamejaya then realized that his main enemy was protected by the king of Devas. So he ordered his priest to chant more potent mantras. Those potent mantras even broken the protection of Lord Indra given to Dakshak. The Dakshak soon headed towards the fire. But suddenly a miracle happened. A young sage named Astika came from nowhere, came there to stop the yagna, and he also successfully done it. Astika also convinced Janamejaya about the impact created by a revenge attitude, and also he taken instances and effect produced by a huge and a famous battle of Kurukshetra. Then Janamejaya realized his mistake which he tried to make. As a gift to the young sage Astika, Janamejaya stopped the yagna. The king stopped the yagna, and Dakshaka and many other serpents were saved. Then the sage Astika, as a token of love, agreed to the proposal of Janamejaya and performed Ashwamedha Yagna for the welfare of the whole kingdom. On this special occasion, another special event happened. That is, one of the disciples of sage Vyasa, the sage Vaisampayana, narrated the whole Mahabharata to the king Janamejaya. Janamejaya became one of the most important person in the Hindu history by hearing the first narration of Mahabharata by Vaisampayana. Janamejaya heard the glory of his ancestors and greatly inspired from that. Later, he also played a decisive role in his life in the consolidation of Guru state, the arrangement of Vedic hymns into collections, and the development of the orthodox Shrauta ritual, transforming the Guru realm into the dominant political and cultural part of northern India. The Mahabharata, a great Mahabharata narrated by the sage Vaisampayana, will be continued in the following episodes. Thank you.